So guys, this is an interesting one. We have here the brand new Denza D9, and it's going head to head against the very popular GAC GN8. So let's start with the GAC first. Then we'll get into the D9. And bear in mind guys, that these are not in any particular order, because they both have some advantages over each other. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the overall design and the look of the car. The design of the GAC looks amazing. It looks more futuristic, and I would say it looks more high-end than the Denza D9. However, if you take a look at the interior, which I think is where it matters most, the D9 actually has a more luxurious interior. Look at this walnut material on the dashboard. It just gives the car a much more premium feel. In addition to that, the seats are also made out of Nappa leather. However, I will give this round to the GAC, because it does look like a more modern car, especially when you look at the front. It looks very sharp and aggressive. The second thing that I want to talk about is the engine and the horsepower. Now both cars are using a 2.0-liter turbo engine, but the Denza D9 has a horsepower of 350, whereas the GAC only has 240. So that means that the D9 is more powerful than the GN8 by 110 horsepower. And I think that makes a huge difference. Now, don't get me wrong, the GN8 is still quick enough for most people. But if you're looking for a car that can really go and accelerate quickly, then the Denza D9 is definitely the way to go. Let's talk about the size and the space. So the size of the GAC is 4 meters long, whereas the Denza is 4.6 meters long. So that's already quite a bit of a difference. The length of the D9 is similar to a Toyota Land Cruiser or a Lexus LX, so that's how you know it's a really big car. And when it comes to the height of the car, the D9 is 1.9 meters high and the GN8 is 1.7 meters high. So that means that there is quite a bit of difference between the height of the two cars. So what does that mean? It means that the D9 is going to be a lot more spacious inside. If you look at the back of the car, for example, in the GN8, there's only enough space for 2 people. It's kind of small back there. Whereas in the D9, you have a massive area at the back. There's 3 seats back there, and you even have another row of seats if you need it. So that's a big advantage for the D9. However, I will say that the GN8 has one advantage when it comes to the size and the space, and that is that it has a panoramic sunroof, whereas the D9 does not. So I will give this round to the D9 because it just has so much more space inside. Let's talk about the size and the space. So the size of the GAC is 4 meters long, whereas the Denza is 4.6 meters long. So that's already quite a bit of a difference. The length of the D9 is similar to a Toyota Land Cruiser or a Lexus LX, so that's how you know it's a really big car. And when it comes to the height of the car, the D9 is 1.9 meters high and the GN8 is 1.7 meters high. So that means that there is quite a bit of difference between the height of the two cars. So what does that mean? It means that the D9 is going to be a lot more spacious inside. If you look at the back of the car, for example, in the GN8, there's only enough space for 2 people. It's kind of small back there. Whereas in the D9, you have a massive area at the back. There's 3 seats back there, and you even have another row of seats if you need it. So that's a big advantage for the D9. However, I will say that the GN8 has one advantage when it comes to the size and the space, and that is that it has a panoramic sunroof, whereas the D9 does not. So I will give this round to the D9 because it just has so much more space inside. Now let's talk about the price. The GAC starts from 350,000 Naira, whereas the Denza starts from 500,000 Naira. That means that there is a difference of 150,000 Naira between the two cars. Now, is that a lot of money? Well, not really. But it's definitely not a small amount either. And if you ask me, I think the D9 is worth the extra money. It has a more powerful engine, it has a more luxurious interior, and it has so much more space inside. So I think it's worth the extra investment. But if you're looking for a cheaper car, then the GN8 is definitely a good option. Now let's move on to the next category, which is the entertainment. So the GAC has an entertainment system in the middle, whereas the D9 has 2 screens. One in the middle and one on the passenger side. Now, which one is better? Well, I would say that the D9 is definitely better, because it has a bigger screen and it has a better interface. However, I will give this round to the GHA because it has one feature that the D9 does not have, and that is the built-in dash cam. Now, that's a pretty cool feature because it can record everything that happens in front of the car. And if anything ever happens, you will have the footage to prove it. And the other thing is that the GN8 has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, whereas the D9 only has wired CarPlay and Android Auto. So that's a big disadvantage for the D9. Now let's talk about the fuel economy. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the GAC has an all-wheel drive, whereas the Denza has a rear-wheel drive. Now, you might think that the Denza will be more fuel efficient because it has a rear-wheel drive, but that's not the case. The GAC is actually more fuel efficient. It does 12 kilometers per liter, whereas the D9 does 10 kilometers per liter. Let's talk about the comfort. The GAC has a lot of features that make it comfortable. For example, it has ventilated front seats, it has a massage function for the driver, it has a 360 camera, and it has adaptive cruise control. All of these features make it very easy to drive the car. However, the D9 also has a lot of features that make it very comfortable to drive. For example, it has a head-up display, it has a night vision camera, and it has a lane departure warning. All of these features make it very easy to drive the car at night and in bad weather. So I will give this round to the Denza because it has a few more features that make it more comfortable to drive. Finally, let's talk about the safety of both cars. So the GAC has a lot of safety features such as 6 airbags, anti-lock brakes, and an alarm system. These features make it very safe to drive the car. However, the Denza takes safety to the next level. It has features such as a blind spot monitoring system, a lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking. These features make it almost impossible to have an accident while driving the car. So when it comes to safety, the D9 is definitely the winner. Now, let's talk about who should buy each car. So the GAC is a great car for someone who wants a stylish and modern car that is also very affordable. It's a great car for someone who doesn't want to spend too much money on a car, but still wants to have a car that looks good and drives well. However, the D9 is a great car for someone who wants a car that is powerful, spacious, and luxurious. It's a great car for someone who wants a car that can carry a lot of people and a lot of luggage. Overall, which car is better? Well, that's difficult to say because both cars have their own advantages and disadvantages. The GAC is a great car for the money. It has a lot of features for the price, and it's a very stylish car. However, the Denza is a more powerful, more spacious, and more luxurious car. Ultimately, it comes down to personal preference. If you want a car that is stylish and affordable, then the GAC is a great choice. But if you want a car that is more powerful, more spacious, and more luxurious, then the D9 is a great choice. What do you guys think? Which car is better in your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.